You think if you work really, really hard, everyone will finally see how special you are. They won't. You'll just end up exhausted and wondering why you're eating dinner by yourself every night. I'm Scofield, 87 years old, and I spent 50 years trying to prove I was somebody important to people who didn't even care Clear's throat stay with me. What took me half my life to figure out, I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes. When I was 9, I learned something that changed everything. My dad worked in a factory, made cloth all day. He'd come home tired, with white dust all over his shirt. We didn't have much money. Our house was so small you could hear someone sneeze from any room. One Sunday we went to church. I only had one pair of shoes. The left one had a big hole in the bottom. This lady, Mrs. Patterson, she taught Sunday school. She looked down at my feet, then looked right at me and said real loud, "Oh, bless your heart, child." Everyone stared. Pause. That's the day I decided. I'm gonna be so successful that nobody ever looks at me like that again. Nobody's ever gonna feel sorry for me. I didn't know it then, but that one moment, it messed up the next 50 years of my life. So I worked 2 jobs in high school, got a scholarship to college, studied engineering, graduated at the top. By the time I was 32, I was the boss of a whole team. By 40, I was running everything. By 47, I bought the house I'd always dreamed about. 5 bedrooms, big garage, fancy neighborhood. The kind of place where Mrs. Patterson's family probably couldn't even afford to visit. I remember standing in that empty house the day I bought it, May 1984. I had the keys in my hand. I thought, I did it. I finally made it. Want to know how I felt? Pause and nothing. Didn't feel happy. Didn't feel proud. Just nothing. Next day I went to work like always. Got home at 8:30 on a Tuesday night. My wife had left me dinner on the counter, all wrapped up. The house was quiet. I sat at our big fancy dining table, cost more money than my dad made in a whole year. And I ate cold chicken. Alone something should have clicked right then. It didn't. My wife's name was Claire. Met her in college. She had the best laugh, made me feel like the world wasn't so heavy. I loved making her laugh. Got married in 1969. She wanted something small. Just family, but I wanted to show off. So we invited 200 people and spent money we didn't have. I worked extra shifts for 8 months just to pay for it. That was the first time I picked work over her. Wasn't the last. Clear's throat. Missed our 10th anniversary for a work dinner. Missed our daughter's school play because I was in another city. Missed so many little things. Saturday mornings when she'd make coffee and just want to sit outside with me, I thought I was doing it all for her. Really, I was just scared. One night, I was 54. She came into my office at home. It was past midnight. I was looking at papers for work. She stood there in her pajamas and said, "Scofield, when's the last time you really looked at me?" I glanced up, annoyed. I was busy. "I'm looking at you right now," I said. She got real quiet. Then she said, "No, you're looking past me, like I'm not even here. You've been doing it for 30 years. Pause. She didn't leave me. That's the sad part. She stayed. But something in her died that night, and I was too busy to see it until it was way too late. I had a buddy, Earl. We started at the same company in 1965. Same pay, same dreams, same tiny apartments. I climbed up and up. Earl stayed put. Same job his whole life. Retired at 62 with barely enough money, I used to think, poor Earl. Last spring, I drove to see him. He's 83 now. Lives in a small house with his wife. They've been married 58 years. When I got there, they were sitting on the porch holding hands. Not making it a big deal, just holding hands because that's what they do. We talked for 2 hours. He showed me pictures of his grandkids, told me funny stories about some trip they took years ago. They laughed together like they were still 20 years old. When I walked back to my car, I just sat there. Couldn't even turn the key. Paws Earl has everything I wanted, and he got it by not chasing what I chased. Claire died 3 years ago, got sick, forgot who people were. By the end, she didn't know my name. But here's the really bad part. I'm not sure she really knew me for 20 years before that either. Earl's wife still looks at him like he's her favorite person in the whole world. That's the difference. It's not about money, it's about showing up. Being there for the life right in front of you. Here's what I finally understood. I wasn't chasing success. I wasn't even chasing respect. I was chasing a feeling. The feeling that I was good enough, that I mattered, that if I could just get the right job, the right house, the right life, that little 9-year-old boy with the hole in his shoe would finally be okay. Music, but here's the thing. You can't get that feeling from a job. Can't buy it. Can't work hard enough to earn it. You gotta give it to yourself. And I could have figured that out at 25. I figured it out at 77. That's 52 years I threw away. 52 years I could have spent holding Claire's hand. Sitting on the porch, being there for the little moments that turned out to be the only ones that mattered. There was this really rich man once. Richest in the world. At the end of his life, he said, "I made millions and millions of dollars, but it didn't make me happy. I get it now. The thing I was climbing toward, it didn't exist. I got to the top and there was nothing there. Just me, alone, in a big house full of pictures of people I was too busy to know. You think you have plenty of time. You do. But not as much as you think." Clear's throat right now. Somebody in your life wants you to really see them. Your wife, your kid, your friend. Somebody, they won't wait forever. One day you'll look up from your work and they'll still be sitting there. But that spark in their eyes, the one that says, "You're important to me," it'll be gone, and nothing you achieve will bring it back. I'm 87 years old. I live by myself, got money in the bank and nobody to spend it with. Got a house full of stuff and nobody to share it with. But I know one thing for sure. The people who love you don't care what you accomplish. They just want you there. If this hit you, share it with someone who's working too hard trying to prove something. Tell me in the comments. What are you chasing that's pulling you away from what you already have? I read every one, Scudber. Not for me, so you don't have to waste 50 years learning what I just told you. Don't be like me, be like Earl.